All right, guys, here are the 5 things you need to know before buying a home in Tucson, Arizona. Number 4 could save you thousands, and I wish all of my clients knew this. Let's get straight into it. So, first and foremost, your down payment isn't going to be the only cash you need whenever buying your first home. You're going to have things such as closing costs, inspections, appraisals, your earnest money, and part of your moving expenses. You have to account for all of these before going and buying that first home. Your inspections are going to be typically anywhere from $500 to $1,000, depending on how many inspections you want to get. Closing costs, we can be seeing something along the same lines, anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000, depending on what title agency you use, and of course, how much your home is worth. Appraisals, that's typically going to be covered by the lender, but that really does depend on what lender you're using. And of course, things like earnest money, which is going to be good faith money that you are going to be putting down so that sellers can see that you are actually intentional about buying the home. More to be explained about this in the whole home buying process. Number 2, don't shop based on the maximum amount that a lender pre-qualifies you for. Let's say that a lender comes with a number and they give you something around $400,000. You should not be realistically taking your entire pre-qualification volume, I mean $400,000, and running with it. Let's say that you need money for expenses and you need money for groceries. An emergency happens and something hits the fan. Well, if you have that first home exceeding what your comfortable monthly payment is, then you're going to quickly realize that your mortgage is going to become a burden on your back because you at the end of the day chose to pay for a home that was a little bit more above your means. So what I would recommend for your first home is actually get something that is good for starters, that is going to make the most financial sense for you, because realistically, you shouldn't be falling in love or making an emotional decision on your first home. You should be buying something that is going to make sense, the numbers add up, and that eventually will give you the liberty and the flexibility to either stay with that home, fix it up, make upgrades, and come up on more value for that property, or you will be left with the option to be able to sell the property and acquire something that is even more of your dream home taste. So that is why I would say don't shop based on the maximum pre-qualification level your lender approves. Number 3, your interest rate isn't going to be the whole story. So interest rate nowadays is definitely one of the most talked about things in real estate because it is going to be directly affecting your mortgage price, your mortgage cost, pretty much. So what you've got to be looking at is not only your interest rate, but also what type of loan type you're getting. Are you getting FHA? Are you getting conventional, VA? These are all going to be very important when determining if the home is making sense for you or not. The lender will tell you, if we can get concessions, if we can get 1-2 points on an offer, then your interest rate will probably go down. Or if we're not able to get a good offer, if we're not able to secure an offer that is going to give us more leverage, and we will perhaps have to give you a higher interest rate. So that is a conversation to have with your lender. Number 4, the house isn't necessarily going to be your biggest expense. What are we talking about here, Sebastian? We're buying a home. How is it that it's not going to be the biggest expense? Well, for the simple reason that there are multiple factors that come into play whenever you are living somewhere. Example given here, you're going to be in a specific neighborhood with a specific commute time. How far away from work is that? Where are your neighbors located? Are they far away? Are they close by? Is it a tight-knit community? Is it somewhere that you're going to have to be investing into HOA, property taxes? Is it something that you have to invest more gas into because you have to have longer commutes? Is it somewhere that in the next 4 to 5 years, is it going to have a good resale price? Is it going to sell for more than you bought it? These are all the things that might that you might want to start asking yourself before going out there and touring homes. Because ultimately, if you do make a good financial decision with your first home, that's not only going to allow you to build wealth, but discover this entire new world of buying and acquiring property the smart financial way, correct? Not looking at it through the lens of emotion, not looking at it through the lens of, hey, I want to fall in love with this home, but looking at it through the lens of, hey, this is the smart move to be making. So, with all of these in mind, number 5 is understanding the market before making an offer. Kind of ties everything together here. We should look at things like days on market. How many days has a home been active? That gives you a good indication of the value of the property, or how much movement, how many buyers are actively seeking that property. How many homes are on the market? Tucson, Arizona, we don't have unlimited homes. There is a definite supply of homes. I believe nowadays it is about 1,500 homes. I could be incorrect on that stat, but the more supply there is, the greater the leverage for the buyer is going to be. And the less supply, in essence, the less homes that there are, then the buyer is going to have way more opportunity to get a better offer. Months of supply, how many months of supply we got, that goes a little bit more into how active inventory, how long active inventory would take to go to zero if we did not have any properties list anymore. But comparable sales, seller concessions, and list price, these are all things that you have to understand before making an offer. And that is why you have to have a good realtor in your corner. That is why you have to have someone that is going to be willing to sit down, explain, give out the reps, and tell you, hey, this is actually going to make sense, or this is not going to be a right deal for you. So, all right. With that, we finalized. Those were the 5 points, the 5 things that you need to know before buying a home in Tucson, Arizona. Your starter home can be the start to building equity to property acquisition. So do it intentionally. Do not look at it through the lens of emotion. And ultimately, try and make the smarter decision. Hopefully this video has helped you out. If you would like, please subscribe. It helps me out a ton. Click that like button. Helps the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to learn a little bit more about real estate, have any real estate questions, my name is Sebastian. Go ahead. I left a link in the description, and we can go ahead and talk a little bit more. Love you. Talk soon.